Now, you say that other people have witnessed things here?
Yes.
Can you tell me some of the stories?
Okay. One story, I've been talking to different siblings in the past because I knew something was going on with my brother, okay? Yeah, he's a schizophrenic, and yeah, they're going to hear noises and voices, and they're going to see things and stuff. But it's been so intense since they've lived here. It's
How long
pathetic.
ago did he move in here?
How long have you lived here?
Since August the 21st of '05.
It's gotten really bad.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's just bad, and he's on medicine.
He's saying he's seeing stuff.
Oh, he hears voices. Now my sister that just moved, she was telling me on the phone yesterday that a week before she moved last week. A week before she moved, this room over here was her bedroom. She had a hope chest at the end of her bed, and there was a coffee cup. And just in the middle of the night, like 3:30 in the morning, that coffee cup hit the door. She kept her door closed. It didn't happen once, but it happened twice.
Yeah,
in the same week. Before that, it's been, she said 6 months ago, she was taking a shower and she couldn't breathe. She actually felt like she had to breathe.
That's called old hag syndrome. You guys get on the internet quite a bit. You can look up old hag syndrome, and it dates back. It's been documented since the early 1st century of spirits that like to sit on the chest of people.
Wow.
And it takes their breath away. It's called old hag syndrome. A lot of people experience.
Yeah, she said she did.
That happened to me last night. It felt like somebody was choking me, and it woke me up this morning at 6 o'clock.
Now,
and I couldn't get no air. I had to go in the bathroom and clean out my throat and everything. I gagged and gagged and gagged. Finally, I got my breath back.
Yeah.
Now, another sibling also in the bathroom, but she wasn't showering. And this was in a complete different time.
So would you say that's one of the hot spots is the bathroom?
I think it's the bathroom and the basement.
Yeah.
The basement?
Yes.
would you like to say? How old are you? Are you a male or female? Is this place important to you? For what reason? Do you like the people that live here?
If you're needing help, make a noise. Let us know you're here. We can't see you. We have a bell on a string over by the front window. Move it. Make some commotion. Make some noise. Being you wish this was ending around at one time, why don't you try asking some questions? Maybe we get a response if it's on that side.
What I want to do is not allowed.
Oh. Does it bother you being in here with all the crosses? Is that why you're angry and upsetting him? Whoa.
We got
I didn't like that.
what you got?
I got cold from my butt all the way to my head. And I heard like a... I don't know.
Did you set that up?
No, I was standing here before it went off.
No, I mean, it just has an alarm.
Yeah, that's what it does when something breaks the field. I've been standing here for 10 seconds or better.
What is that?
Oh, go ahead and shut it off.
It's in one of my pockets. It's in this front pocket over here. Yep, just twist the other way.
Is Is that you just standing behind me when I was sitting on the couch? I mean, it felt like somebody had a bag of ice and just went right up my spine with it. It felt like my hood moved.
One day I hope. One day I hope.
When I was sitting on the couch, I had a cold brush go up my back, and it almost felt like my hood moved, if you could check the camera at that time.
I just heard something from that direction. I just heard something that sounded like talking in that room in there.
Just heard what sounded like a muffled conversation coming from the kitchen or maybe downstairs hallway.
Ain't catching nothing on the camera.
You had no problem the other night while we were here making your presence known. Why can't you do it now?
Because I'm here, isn't it? You know my reason for being here, don't you? Something just moved on the table.
Put your camera over here.
Ask them if they got movement on the camera. The camera itself moving.
Did the camera in the front room on the table jiggle or move at all?
There's a noise on the table.
Okay, there was a noise on the table right behind one of us, and it almost sounded like maybe the tripod moved a little bit, or maybe not.
Could have been the cord.
And that is where I'd heard the whispering, was while I was in the living room. And watching the cameras, we seen what looked to be an attempt at manifestation of an apparition near the client's bed.
Tell us a little bit about the living room.
That was another, we had one cold spot in the whole front room, and there was no explanation for it, but it had to have been 20 degrees cooler. Sitting at the end of the couch where in the picture the guy's head was. Ray experienced it after the hunt, and she got up and I sat down and I experienced it big time. I was shaking. I was so cold. The shadows on the wall at the couch where I was sitting at that's just phenomenal, because there's nothing there to create that. You could have somebody on the other side of the room standing in front of the light and it didn't do it. And we checked all that trying to debunk it, and me and you personally witnessed on the video camera when it froze up, there was two faces in the corner, and there was no explanation for that.
Did Eddie hear something in the bathroom?
Did Eddie hear something?
Was that a negative?
Negative, no.
Negative.
Okay, we're gonna start an EVP in the bathroom.
Well, just about 2 minutes ago, that bell that's right there was swinging in a circular motion.
Tell him it's dead still now.
It is still at this point.
10-4.
Okay, starting EVP 13. Alright, starting EVP 2, Brian.
Eddie, Brad, Josh, and Brian.
Take it away.
All right. We just heard that you were moving that bell. Can you do that again for us? Can you get it to move a little bit? How about you move that again for us? I see it kind of wiggling a little bit. Can you move it? I'm going to turn my camera back on. And I'm going to take a little quick shot of this camera. Flash. Alright. Here's something I want you to do. If you're in the mirror, I want to see if you can manifest for me. Disregard flash on that camera. Okay, we're going to kill the still camera.
Is it angering you that they changed this bathroom recently? They just did a nice home remodel. The bathroom looks wonderful. Does it upset you that they did that?
Alright, I'm standing on the side of the bell. Can you move that again for us? Anybody else seeing this?
It's moving.
Okay. Just want to double check. Alright, it's swaying about a half centimeter and it's starting to turn.
Brian, please come over here. Look in the closet. Somebody else stand in my spot, trade me places and stare in that closet.
Go ahead the bell.
Stare in that closet, somebody else. Fresh set of eyes. I just got looked at, guys.
Are you in the closet? Do you like the naughty things he keeps in there? How about you reach out and touch that bell again for me? If you like those naughty things.
If you went into the bathroom, tell us a little bit about that bathroom.
The bathroom is where I saw what I saw. And you got to understand this bathroom is really tiny. And our cameras, when you set them up on the wall, they either got to face right or they got to face left. If you face right, you see all the bathroom but the closet. If you face left, the only thing you're going to see is the closet. So we faced it to the right to where it covered the most area. And when we went in there to do our questioning, I stood at the end wall where I could see in the closet while everybody else was watching the bell that we hung from the ceiling. The bell started suddenly spinning, and while they're focused on it, I'm seeing what's spinning it. So I asked Brian Barnes to come stand in my place so he could verify what I was seeing. We had to shuffle around each other, which bumped the closet door a couple of times, and by the time he got around me, it was gone. But the bell had also stopped moving. And that is my first experience, and hopefully not the last, of something actually seen with my own two eyes that night.
The bathroom, it was really awesome to see the bell move. And then as I'm looking through our portable camera, besides feeling something off to my right, like it kept trying to come around the corner, just watching Eddie's eyes light up from seeing what he's seen in the closet area in there. It was a massive spot of joy. It was awesome.
without me even hitting the button.
Josh, you're sitting on the couch.
On the couch. Everybody else, one member at a time, walk across to the drum set and back, and then someone else go.
Okay, over. Go. Walk, stop. Walk directly to the drum set, and then walk straight back. Yeah, missing the bell.
And let us know if you're doing it.
It without me even hitting the button.
Should we keep...
He's got a flashlight on him, he'll be able to see.
Do we know if that camera's working again?
That one, no clue.
No, no clue. Nobody's out in the garage to tell
Well,
us.
why don't... Here. Pair camera 2 and try and pair this one.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Well, for the pre-investigation, there was a wind chime and like behind the couch, and then over on the other side of the room there was a wind chime, and then there was a dream catcher, and they just started spinning by themselves. We got up and checked, and there was no drafts, there was no, furnace, there was nothing blowing on them. And then it'd stop, and then everybody would start talking about their business, and then Eddie would say, if you're here, spin that. And so then the dream catcher would start spinning by itself, or the wind chime would just start spinning by itself. It starts spinning by itself on command.
What was your impression of the homeowner?
The homeowner, they were very polite, friendly people, and I believe they're telling the truth. And they've went above and beyond their self, to make the team feel welcome, and really friendly people.
What personal experience did you have at the Demon House?
Well, I'm part of the command center, so I got to view all cameras from different angles of the rooms, like all of the rooms at one time. And it's hard to kind of try to watch from, each screen to see what's going on. But the one thing that I did notice was in the living room, a lot of activity. There was a lot of moving going on. Towards the very end of the hunt, I personally saw from the original picture the little child with the angel wings at the end of the couch.
And what was your impression of the homeowner?
The homeowners were very scared. They were fearful of their lives. They wanted this thing taken care of. They wanted it gone. They also were very caring. They went above and beyond my expectations of a homeowner for a hunt.
Tell us your opinion on the equipment failure.
Really don't get much into the equipment, but there was some really weird things going. I mean, it was like first half hour, it just kept like battery after battery was draining out of the equipment, especially in the basement. That seemed to be the one place that it really drained all the batteries the fastest. During the command center, or during the hunt at the command center, the keyboard would just start, like, things would type on its own, so we didn't know if it was just due to the cold or if it was actually something trying to communicate with us. What was your impression of the homeowners?
Very, very sweet people, and at first I thought, you know, being older ladies that were taking care of themselves, and the first little mention might scare them. A lot of people get scared easy, and they seem to be really skittish. So I thought they would be really easy for something to manipulate their mind into thinking they seen something. And I thought when we went to do the actual hunt that we were going to pretty much be able to put them at ease, that nothing was going on in that house. I got a feeling, though. They definitely have a reason to be afraid, and the sheer terror when one of them got pushed down and was sitting out crying in our command center after it happened. And afterwards, their politeness, they're making us chicken soup. They're writing me every day to tell us thank you and how much they love each and every one of us. I think they're very good people.
And now I know you were there for the interview, the pre-interview. Did you see the chimes move? And tell us about it.
Yeah, the chimes moving. What had actually happened is on a pre-interview, we don't usually do any investigation work whatsoever, but Brian Bodie had happened to see some movement in a lamp cord. So, to humor him and myself, I looked up at one of the wind chimes in the room that had sat still for an hour while we were interviewing, and I told it to move, and suddenly it started spinning, and I had 4 team members all together with me, and 3 homeowners, and everybody's seen it, and everybody's jaw dropped. Nothing was said for some time. I waited for it to stop and started doing my pre-interview again. And just all out of the blue, I looked up, told it to do it again, and it did it again. So at the end of the night, as we was getting ready to walk out the door, it had been stopped for quite some time. And I said, before I leave, I just want to see something. And I told it to move again, and it moved again on its own for a 3rd time, spinning around. We checked the cobwebs. They weren't moving. We checked to see if there was any drafts anywhere, and there wasn't. There was no heater vent anywhere near it. We tried everything to debunk it, and we couldn't. And we've got to remember, at this time, I'm still a non-believer, so I was trying everything I could to prove why that thing was spinning. But the coincidence and it moving when I told it to only also was a very big key piece of evidence for me and made me do a lot of thinking that night.
What was your impression of the homeowner?
Scared. Very, very, very scared. They were almost traumatized because of all the weird things that had been happening in the house and the tormenting of the son and brother.
If you were there, did you see the chimes move during the pre-interview? And
Yes,
tell us about it.
I was one of the 4 there, and I was the first one to notice that. I noticed the ball chain on a light move, and then right after that is when the wind chime and the dream catcher started moving.
Tell us a little bit about the equipment failure.
It was only our 2nd hunt, so I kind of blew it off that maybe we had done something wrong. And then when I was sitting in the command center with you, the computer started typing by itself, and there was no cause for that. You know, I'd never done it before, but it was doing it then. So I think something was deliberately trying to mess up us catching anything is what it was.
Well, it started off with the initial interview of the family. When we first went to the house, I think I was the first one to hear noises come out of the kitchen. area, and then we also heard, personally heard a door, it kind of was rattling coming from the bedroom. That was one of the rooms we investigated. And then another big thing was there was a wind chime in one of the windows above the couch where the original picture was taken. And everybody was telling it to move, and it would move. And this was all during our original interview. Now, what else happened with that was nothing else in the room moved. There was things in the other windows and near that window. Nothing moved. We had dream catchers with feathers, dust hanging from the ceiling. Nothing moved.
I actually had 3 experiences. I was in the front room as a camera operator, and from the kitchen or the basement area, I was hearing whispering coming from that direction, feeling and seeing shadows moving in the basement. And then after we was doing equipment cleanup, hearing the knocking from the back bedroom with the door closed. I believe we all experienced that. It was in the house.
Tell us about the basement.
In basements you feel like you're trapped anyway because you're actually underground and the house is on you and everything, but it was very, very heavy. I mean, to the point where my back and shoulders were hurting, like I was carrying around a weight on my shoulder. It was just very tight down there, even though there was hardly anything in the basement. It was wide open, but it felt like something was riding on your back almost.
What personal experience did you have at the Demon House?
That house, basically between 2 specific ones, upstairs and down, one in the living room, one in the basement. Basically, like, I had a demon towering over me, like he started kind of feeling like hands on my shoulders, like it wanted to possibly strangle.
And what do you think about the evidence?
The picture, especially of the demon with Brad, I believe it wholeheartedly now because I seen that before we even got that footage back and drew a picture of it. My picture, I couldn't tell because the shadow of the creature was dark. The only thing that was real prominent was the eyes. But I had explained that night of the hunt, what I seen had 2 points that looked like they could be ears or something of that nature. And when the picture came back and the thing had horns in the same place I thought it was ears, it really defined it for me, and I believe wholeheartedly what I saw was real.
The biggest thing that I found was the EMFs. That was my personal experiences. Josh had a huge amount of EMF energy coming off of him through towards the end of our hunt. I was in the room when Eddie saw something in the closet, and I think I saw it too. I saw a shadow, and I don't know exactly what it was. That was located in the bathroom. In the bathroom, we also experienced the bells moving, spinning on their own. It's one of our ghost traps, as you may see on some of our footage. But with them, my biggest freakouts were the EMFs, because a human being doesn't have an EMF reading. So, especially on the high side, a gauge meter is set to go on a really low rating. It was peaking out completely on Josh, and so we used the higher rating one, and he was going all the way up to 1600 on the EMF gauge, and he shouldn't have gone over 7. And then also Sherry was getting that on readings too, and she was experiencing some hotness and pain in her back, and that's where I was getting a lot of readings from her too.
What personal experiences did you have at the Demon House?
Honestly, I didn't have any except for one down in the basement where my back started burning.
Does the laser light annoy you? Does the fact that we are here bother you? Does the fact that the direct ancestry of Chief Keokuk, also known as Keokuk, is in the room with you? Prometheus. 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 When was the first time you noticed anything occurring? To like this presence?
There's stuff around here. I always move around and cooking and all that.
It's been here since you've lived here?
And all that, yeah. TV and all that.
Did you experience it before you moved here?
Yeah, another place on.
Another place?
Donald Street.
So it seems to follow you where you go? Yeah. Okay. Does it speak to you? Does it talk to you?
Sometimes no, and sometimes yeah, different ones.
Different ones?
Yeah.
Oh, there's more than one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well, that's very interesting. Have you seen the one other than on the picture? Have you seen the one that's got the horns with your own eyes?
That's the one I've seen on camera.
But have you seen it off a camera? Have you ever seen it?
No.
No. Does it hurt you in any way? Ever? Do you get mad and scratch you?
No.
No. Does it tell you to do things?
Tries to.
What's it tell you to do? It's okay. You can tell me.
I don't know how to explain it.
Does it tell you to build things?
No.
No. Tell you to like go places?
No.
Does it tell you to hurt anybody?
I try not to. It just ticks me off about tell me who's the boss is around here and all that. I don't know.
Oh, it tries to tell you that it's the boss? And what's it want you to do?
Tell me what to do or not.
It tells you to get up and do things you don't want to do, huh? Tells you it don't want things in the house. What doesn't it like?
Peggy Sue, wherever that is.
What is it?
Peggy Sue.
Peggy Sue. It doesn't like Peggy Sue.
Or something about Peggy Sue anyway. I always talk about Peggy Sue.
Did it tell you if it had a child or not?
No.
Well, one of the things we found when we were doing, this is something for everybody to hear. One of the things we found when we was doing the research of this home particularly, is that there was a man that used to own this house that would beat his wife and child and sexually molest them, and he ended up killing the wife, and her name was Peggy Sue.
What?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yes, that is one piece of, yeah, that's why it doesn't like Peggy Sue. Yeah, that's one of the things our researchers brought to us. So that explains that. Was that in your deed, by the way?
I talked to that, I believe.
Was that in your deed, by the way? The Peggy Sue?
Spirit day or whatever.
No, I think it would be under his name.
I think I hear it every once
Probably it would be under his name, wouldn't it?
Because
she just kind of ticked off.
Back in the day, they didn't use the
60s
woman.
and stuff, it was all in men's names.
I hear it every once in a while. I think it's her.
Well, you now have you seen your mom freak out by it? You seen your mom get scared and hide out? Do you know why she plays all these songs, these Christian songs? Because she's scared to death. So what we're going to do tonight, if you're willing, is my father-in-law is the sweetest man you've ever met in your life, and he is, yep, he's their pastor. And him and Pastor Ray both preach over there at the church that she goes to all the time. And they're willing to have it come over there and pray with them. And they'll make this thing leave you and leave you alone.
It's not in there or nothing.
It just hangs around you.
Yeah.
But since when you moved, it was there before you moved here. That means it's connected to you. Yeah, wherever you go, it's going to stay connected to you until we make it stop being connected to you. Make it break loose from you. That's why when you moved, it came with you. If it was just in the house, then when you left to go somewhere, it wouldn't go with you. But see it.
And it's feeding off the energy that was already here.
Right. And see, each time you move to a different place, it's going to feed off the energy that's already in that place. That's why it knows about Peggy Sue. That's probably why there's more than one of them now. It's drawing in others. And the thing about spirits is they can bond with people. They can actually, whether they're in you or not, they can connect themselves to you. And you'll never find peace. Maybe the next house you go to, there'll be a mean one. And since this one's connected to you, they can draw that mean one in, and then things can really start happening to you.
I talk to them.
You just talk to them?
No, you holler and scream and curse really loud. You
They shoot
hit
me up.
walls. You hit walls when they bother
They
you.
shoot me up. I get pissed off when
They
shoot
do
me
what?
Up. They just shoot me up.
They shoot
Somebody
you up.
shoot me up. I don't know who and where. I get pissed off about it. So all these holes in the wall.
What are they shooting you with?
I don't fucking know.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
It does hurt when they do it?
I don't know who does it.
Okay.
So they can make we can make that quit. They won't be able to do that to you no more.
Yeah.
That's the only time I really do get pissed off and mad. Bawling and talking to them all that, you know.
Yeah.
When they, you know, shoot me up. I get pissed off, mad.
Battery just went to 0. It's still recording, but it's on its last legs. Again. Whatever it is that's bonded to you likes to steal our battery juice.
Does it?
Yes. This is incredible. This is incredible.
Brand new
This is, yeah, we've used this camera everywhere. I used it at my wedding. These batteries last all day in this camera. This is incredible.